What's up, everyone? This is Hyce. We're playing DERAIL Valley once again today. We're back at the harbor where we left off after last episode, and we're having a bit of a cash crisis here. So I think we're going to be looking for some big ticket jobs. I've already gotten the shunting jobs off the pile, and I'm looking at a couple options here. We got a pretty big, hefty train going up to Food Factory in town, 75 grand. We got a couple trains going to City Southwest that add up to about that. And the weight total is considerably less, and you get a larger bonus time. But I've always felt like this is not quite balanced. We're down at Harbor in town, down here. And we need to run either to Food Factory in town up there, or to City Southwest down here. And you can pretty much blaze through this chunk. This is all pretty high speed once you get up out of the mountains. And you can do the same here, but like City Southwest is like basically that far away. Food Factory in town is still a considerable amount further. So I think we're going to take these City Southwest jobs and we're going to try and blaze a trail as fast as we can down there. I don't see, is there anything else for City Southwest? There's a logistical haul, but it's so cheap that the bonus for one of those other jobs would do it, and I wouldn't want to be like too extra heavy. And you'll see that we're delivering gasoline and diesel, so two strings of tank cars. So let's go figure out where these are. And in previous episodes, I've been shown how to find these. So we've got Harbor Freight Hall 99 and 42. So we got to go find those cuts of cars. Let's see. Harbor Freight Hall 45 is right there. We have 42 and 99. Okay, so it's not that cut. But it's going to be a cut of tank cars. So it's probably not in the E-yard then, if we had to guess. Unless it's far over here somewhere. Oh, it might be this cut. Okay, here's 42. Okay, so one of the cuts is in the E-yard on the furthest over track. So we can go and flip these switches and make sure we're lined in to pick it up. Brilliant. And then if I had to guess, the other ones are going to be in the G yard. I wouldn't have thought that they would have had fuel and oil in the D and B yards. Oh, but this might be it right here. SL49. Oh, that's probably shunting. That's probably what that is. What about this one? Those had explosive placards. All right, so here's Freight Hall 99. Okay, so we've got one in the D yards here. So we'll make up the train, and then we'll accept the jobs. I've got my DE6 fired up over by the roundhouse. I know it'd be a lot more fun to have the steam engine to play with, but I'm more worried about cash at the moment. And worrying about stoking the fire and complaining about how accurate the valve gear is and such while running is not going to lead me for success. So we're gonna run with the DE6. Okay, so obviously I'm gonna take my caboose, stash it over in the E yard behind the tank cars, and then I'm gonna take the DE6 and spin it on the Y and grab the first cut of cars from the D yard. So we'll see when we got the train put together. Okay, I've dropped the caboose off and I've spun the diesel around, and I'm remembering how to use the comms radio. That's kind of fun. And again, I've got really long arms so I can blow for this grade crossing. And we are lined. I guess we'd run through that switch if it was Railroads Online, so we'll be good kids and align it back. And we need to throw that one to go towards the G and D yard. You can see the caboose is stashed in the middle of the yard down there. And then we got to pick up those cars way over there. But first, we have to pick up our cars from the D yard. It seemed that would be easier. I don't know where they need to be delivered. Maybe that makes less sense when we get to City Southwest. But we'll just have to see. It's the laziest grade crossing I think I've ever done. We lined into the right set of... I did line this, right? Yes. Yes, I did. All right. I've got a remote to change the switches, but here I am still jumping out of the cab. Highballing through the yard, too. and we're playing with Hazmat today. So maybe I should record all of my switching so that you see if I bin it just in case. Alright. Got a ways to go. So pretty far down this track. I'm not sure what they've got these loaded cars of gasoline and diesel doing underneath the intermodal cranes. But who am I to judge what the yardmaster says to do? They know all, right? Alright, getting pretty close here. Oh, well, I was hoping I wouldn't stop with that, but we'll gently roll into the hazmat here. Flammable, explosive. Well, I mean, I don't know if they're explosive. Those aren't proper placards, but you know, they do the job. Alright. We're once again being bad kids. Dunk. Alright, nothing has exploded yet, knock on wood. Tie those in. And again, still the right job, right? FH99. And we are still charging our brake pipe, but we can start tugging on these, I think. It's a fair amount more weight than a light locomotive, particularly when the brakes still haven't released all the way. How many cars is Job 99 anyways? 7 cars, 311 tons. Last time I didn't really have any of that info. It was just like 4 jobs, but how many cars was it? I don't know, like 40 some? Alright, come on, we got a high ball. We don't have the timer on yet, but it's like, I want to get this done today, you know? 40 kph is pretty good, right? We're not hearing any. Well, we're hearing some of the spooky DERAIL Valley sounds, but not too many of them. I don't think I would run through this fast, but it works in game, so we'll do it. Alright, through the crossing, coming back to the main now. And just so it makes it easier to grab the switch, we're gonna ride the rear platform of this tank car. We'll take a little set on the train. Little set on the train, almost there. Big set on the train. Massive set on the train. There we go. Just let that do what it's gonna do. Flip the switch. Eventually grab the thing. There we go. And are we lined? Lined there. Old habits die hard. Lined into my caboose. And it looks like, yeah, we're lined the rest of the way down into those other explodey boys. And what's our last explodey boy in job 1? The 723. Okay. Shove it back. Again, brake pipe still hasn't recharged. Get us rolling here on some amount of speed. Okay, 20 is probably fine. We are going to be going down a ladder track here. And I am going to ride the business end of it. And I guess I'll just scream at the grade crossing because I don't have a horn on this end. Ah! 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 Yeah, something like that, right? Uses squeaky toy. Are we really slowing down? Oh, did they add handbrakes? Oh, those don't work. They've been modeled. That's fun. Actually, kind of want a bit more speed. So I know that was going to be super climactic and everything. But we got to shove a little bit. Okay. Now we'll ride the car. We're pretty far back down this track here. The E11 outbound. Yeah, you can see that the O's don't have the slash through them. Got good demarking on it. Although if I didn't see that, I probably wouldn't have realized that that was 11-0 rather than 110. Alright, I'm going to start taking little sets. So it takes a long time for that to propagate through back to the diesel. You can see how much just that little click is slowing us down. But it takes a while to start. So I want just a cute little bit more. Just a smack. And then maybe we'll see if we can slowly roll into this. Hopefully. I probably could have waited for the second smack, honestly. And this is the other job we need, the 42. Yeah, okay. Oh, look at this. That's actually turning out beautifully. Come here, Mr. Coupler. Beautiful. Wasn't even in the cab of the engine. And tie the air in. Okay, and now we will go get the caboose. Okay, and now we are shoving back to pick up the caboose. And the air still hasn't recovered here, so... And we're blocking the crossing like a good train. And the edge of this roundabout, like, pretty much comes within the dynamic envelope of the train, which is kind of hilarious. And by the way, dynamic envelope is the fancy term we use to say where the train can possibly be when it's on the tracks, based on super elevation and whatever the suspension may do, and whatever curvature may do. You know? So we have different specifications for that based on, are you going on straight track or curved track, or is it super elevated, or is it, you know, etc. Does the train have any play? Does it have suspension that allows it to go left and right, or tilt or anything like that? So we barely got this rolling. It will be kind of funny and incorrect to have a caboose on this train of very modern-looking tank cars with a diesel at the head end, but you know, we'll run with it. It's important to take the caboose with you because it doesn't despawn, I don't think. It just ends up wherever you leave it, so there's not a whole lot of good sidings to put stuff in around outside of yards in this game, so give it a cute little click because we're coming in a smidgen hotter than I want. I was still a little fast, but I don't think we broke anything. Air's cut in, air's cut in. Caboose isn't hurt, tank car's not hurt, no feelings are hurt. Air's cut out on the rear, train's made up. We're just about ready to highball. Here we go. The 99, cool. And then the 42. And now we need to go highball and we'll deal with the consequences later. All right, kick it in forward. And you know what, we're gonna spend the extra money for the sand and we're just gonna put it in 8. Just to get us up to track speed here. We're lined out the yard as far as I can tell, so let's send it. Okay, so the 99's the job that we have in the front, and we did pick it up from D6, and it does end in the 723. And we're taking it to City Southwest, and we're dropping it off on C2I. Okay, C2I. And the other is the 4 cars that we got from the 11 outbound. And C2I! Oh, did we really luck out that... Oh, we just got to dump this whole train on the same spot. Okay, now we're going about 40, which is about good, so we'll just we'll let it ride for now and pay attention to our switches and grab our comms radio that we know what to do with now, because I think I might still be lined into the military yard. I'm not sure. Oh, you even get a little indication when you're this far out. That's handy. I mean, you can see the targets from here anyways, but now it looks like we are lined up the hill, so perfect. Well, then I guess we'll be good to this. We'll be lined to the steel mill, where we're, instead of turning right at the Y, we're going to be going left at the Y instead. And we're getting a little chatter, but nothing too bad. We can go 40 around these Ys, it seems. So it's a lot of explosive things behind us, though. Anyone else nervous? Just me. Hopefully this goes better than my last attempt of playing Railroads Online. Okay. So we're going to start on the hill, but I don't want to get going too quick. I don't know, put it in about 3 or 4. A little bit more than that. A little more. This is somewhat heavy. Let's see what we can do. Do only have a speed limit of 40, though. So All right, going up through the cut. Looks like we're maintaining with about, I don't know, what is that, notch 6? Does it even say? No, there's no indicator. Normally on the on these throttle handles, there's a little indicator guy that shows you, oh yeah, this is what throttle notch you're in. But again, normally the throttle notch is open as you pull towards you, but that's all right. Oh, we didn't turn our headlights on or our cab lights. Not that we really need the cab lights. It's not that dark out, but... So this little that little plate there, that's where there's supposed to be your cut in or cut out selection. You could choose to be cut in as either freight or passenger, typically on 26L. Or you could cut out if you were not in lead position. But obviously we're the only locomotive that we have, so we would be cut in, but there's not a switch there modeled, which is kind of neat. And I think the difference between passenger and freight, I'm not actually 100% certain what it is. I think passenger has graduated release, whereas you coming back up off of the off of an application, it can slowly release in bursts, so that you provide a smoother transition for the cars behind you. But that's all hearsay, because I worked for the freight railroad, and I didn't really deal with... We never cut in passenger, so... Anyways, well, the rest of this is pretty faithful. Although there's no alerter button, so there's nothing to annoy us, which is kind of a good and a bad thing. But and there's no they've got a heater here, but there's typically a sidewall heater and as well a cab seat. But you know, for gameplay's sake, you can't really be in a seat, right? And there's normally like a little light panel up above you and information about the locomotive. They'd put the road number on the inside, at least the BNSF ones did. Still only 40, but yeah, people were saying there's a bit of a... Yes, we need this right now. People were saying there's a bit of a cushion, so I guess we don't have to be right bang on 40. PTC's not going to tell us to slow down or slow us down. So this curve does look a little spooky, so we will back it off a touch. This is a neat bit of railroad right here. And up to 70, so beans. Beans it is. I think about anything more than 7, these want to slip, so. We do have a 43-minute time frame to do this. And now we're down to 50. Just for presumably this curve. So we'll just leave it shut off and idle. We're trying to run this as quick as we can. And as we get through the curve, get back on the power. But not too fast, because you always got to remember that these speed limits really apply at the rear of your train for accelerating or resuming speeds. So I just got told I could go 70, but my caboose can't yet, so... But probably somewhere around there we can start accelerating for it, and we'll just give the brakeman whiplash, so it's fine. Back down to 60 again. Yeah, the resolution of speed limit changes is considerably high, at least on this chunk of railroad. They're not all like this around the rest of the railroad, but it is kind of funny. It's like, okay, change speed, change speed, change speed. 1.2. So we're still going uphill. We're coming up to that junction. We can even look on the map. Look at that. Yeah. I suppose I should give it a little break. I think that sign said 40, and I just nonchalantly kept going. So we got some advanced scrapey sounds back there. And I took a big gulp of air, so now I need to pull through it, because you can see the brake pipe is still recharging. We don't want to go too stupid slow through this. But I never believed this 70 around that switch. Are you kidding me? Diverging at 70 kilometers an hour through that mess? No, thank you. I'd rather not bin it when everything's about to explode, so. But now we can give it some power. And apparently 8's fine right now. I wonder exactly how they determine when you can wheel slip or not, if they have tonnage modeled. I should also probably look up what tonnage is for the DE6. Again, we're coming through a switch, although we're coming through the normal route. No, we're coming through the reverse route. It's a little picante through there. Okay. Didn't bin it there. I'm impressed if they do have tonnage factored in. That's actually pretty nice. Do you have anything over here? No, just the fridge in the bathroom that gives me horror stories. Reminds me of horror stories. Okay, I think we had a 70. Just gonna leave it there for a second. It's still looks a little spooky. Looks like 70 is working though, so we want to keep up on the pace because we want this bonus because we are trying to make money, but we don't want to keep up on the pace so well that we bin it. So I mean, we're feathering a thin edge here. The little sounds of getting close to the rail always freaks me out a little bit. It's funny that it's just like this, like a little soft. Like flange squeal would be more annoying, and would probably make wouldn't bug me. Wouldn't be like a ooh, feel scared moment. I think it's pretty quick through here, so we're going about 90. Oh, well, it's 80 through here. Well, that's, you know, it's close enough, right? Right? We'll just leave that at idle for a minute here. How's that sound to everyone else? That sound pretty good? This has got to be flat through here. Oh, hang on, now we got 120. Beans, all of the beans. I've actually, I don't know what the fastest you can go in the DE6 is. I've heard it's not as fast as the steam engine. 120 for that long. That does not meet railway design guidance. That's a big speed step down for not much. 120 to 90 again. I guess it's in kilometers an hour. My brain defaults to miles an hour, but still 30 decrease is a pretty fair bit for such a short piece of railroad. Although everything's kind of condensed for the sake of the game. The DERAIL Valley map is actually the same size, if I recall, as the Railroads Online map. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you have to condense for the sake of the player experience in a game. We got a decent set on the train. I'm gonna kick it off and let it ride, and I'm actually gonna pull out on it because it started grabbing me pretty hard. There we go. Well, we pinched it down to 70 pretty well with that. Oh, I should have kept the power on, though. Keep the power on. Yeah, it's still coming back up. Although this is where I lost my tender. So maybe we won't keep the power back up. Or this is near where we lost the tender in the first episode here. It says 80, but going through this switch. I mean, just look at those cars doing that. That just spooks me. I think it was the next switch that we lost them on. Okay, and this is the last converging switch, and then we're gonna have to grab that short leg of the Y, and then you could pretty much highball through the farm and the oil well. And then we're gonna be getting pretty close to City Southwest, so we're over halfway there, and it doesn't feel like it's been that much time. Not that I have a watch to know how much time it's been, but we've got 43 minutes to do it, so. All right, we're doing 60, we're starting to go downhill here, and we do have a sharp, that switch that we're gonna go through here. And I don't want to lose the first oil tanker for anything. So we've got a little air set. Pray, pray. Cool, kick it off. Get back out on the power. It looks like the caboose is round. Okay. Give it some power until we start seeing the speed come up. Okay, and I'll just let it idle for now. I want my comms radio. I want my MTV. We gotta move these refrigerators. I'm referencing things probably most of the viewers of this channel don't know about. Oh, lordy. Okay, 60. Well, we got that junction there. I don't trust it at all, so I'm gonna set a big gulp of air there. And kick it off, let the curves guide us. can't quite get the comms radio on that yet. Wonder if it's actually got a laser that blinds people that far. Okay. Coming into the junction here. In 0.2 kilometers, is that what that means? For someone who has to deal with signs so much for his daily job, I really should just look these up. Look at that, we've set the switch on the fly. We're ready to shovel coal into the big block. Let's set another gulp of air because we can go 50 around this, and we're less than 50, but then this goes down a steep hill, and I don't want my train to get a little spicy here. And this is a sharp leg of a Y. Looking good. Lots of steel wheels rolling. We wouldn't want the, It's nice that we can throw switches remotely with this game. That's a thing that most railroaders really dream about, I think. And we got 90 across the bridge. 90 and then 60. Way to just get me excited over nothing. Well, we'll get to 60 at least here. Throwing switches remotely would be a really wonderful thing. Fun fact, the one big boy, oh, he said the word, the one big boy that ever had a really, really bad derailment. Which way is that switch lined? Looks like it's lined straight. Yeah, okay. The one big boy that ever had a really, really bad derailment was the 4005, and it was because a switch got thrown out in front of it, basically. Okay, and then this is like the industry lead to the farm, I think, if you go left, and then if you go straight, we're going through. And now we're just gonna pray that I've got all my switches lined through the farm. Else we are going to rapidly have a series of rapidly unplanned disassemblies, as NASA would call it. All right, we're gonna highball through the yard. Looks like we're all lined. Anyways, the story goes that it was somewhere in Wyoming, and there was a farmer who needed to have his flock of sheep, cross the tracks. And he wanted to make sure they weren't going to get hit by a train. And so he asked a signal maintainer or a track worker or whoever it was, I'm not sure, but he asked someone to, like, protect them, you know, so make sure that it was okay. And oh, we got a 90 again here. Awesome. Gonna get on the power. Anyways, so the track worker goes out and he goes to the junction previous, and he throws the switch to the siding to, you know, warn any trains coming. The switch was connected to a signal that was further up the line, and, you know, if the switch was opened so to that siding, it would say, like, hey, you know, you have to slow down or you have to stop because you're going in the siding. So any indication would be told, you know, that the train would have to slow down. It looks like we're all lined through all these other explodey boys. Yeah, let's not do that. But we'll keep the power on. And so the point of it is that, you know, the train would have to slow down, and by the time that, you know, it was close to the sheep, the train could then see the sheep was going slow enough that they could stop, and no sheep would be harmed. Well, unfortunately, the big boy 4005 was already past where the signal that was giving the indication was to slow down for the switch. And so they didn't get that message, and so they ended up going through that siding switch, you know, at track speed 60 or whatever it was, and it rolled over onto its side, and it had a train full of wooden stock cars behind it, and it became a pile of matchsticks, and the pictures are kind of horrifying. But, yeah, so remotely throwing switches ahead of you, that's a nifty feature. That is a nifty thing. Although I guess in modern day you'd have dispatch do it for you. We're getting a little spicy. Set the air up. Kick it off. We're lined to the right. And I want to say that this Y is like squiggly for some reason. Yeah, 30 through here. Just take another gob. And then pull through it, because we don't, I mean, we wanted to slow down, but we didn't want to, like, come up and stop. Where's my map? Yeah, it's got this big S-curve through here. We came down to 30 pretty nicely, and again, shovel, we're ready. So we gotta go to C2I in City Southwest. So City Southwest, C is gonna be to the right. We're getting a little quick for my taste. C is gonna be to the right. Or no, we're coming in from the east, not the northeast. So we're coming in from the bottom of this diagram. And then we need to go to the C yard, and we can figure out where C2I is, but we basically need to go straight. So we'll go run ahead and do that. Is there another Y here? It's another Y. That's not what we need. City Southwest is still up here, I think. Cross the bridge. Okay. Straight through that switch. Straight through that switch. We're actually lined in already pretty much into the C yard. Can line that even though it'll auto line just because we're going to be particular. And C2I is the first track on the left. So we'll get this lined up. Okay. And now we can teleport back one chunk at a time into the river. Oops. And now we can go jump in the train. Still rolling nicely. Still, I don't know if we have more than 30, but it looks like we have a 60 up there, and it looks relatively straight behind me, so I'm going to give it the beans. I don't think we're anywhere near the 43-minute timeline. But I think this is like the most underbalanced objective. Like Harbor to City Southwest is like the gravy run to do. And it's pretty. City Southwest is kind of neat. Did I get the switches lined right? Yes, it did. So you can see on the diagram we need to go straight, or right, left. And we're set. We can go 50 either way. Vague grade crossing, sure. And I don't trust this S-curve as far as I can throw it. And it's track, so that's not very far. Another grade crossing. That's a little spicy there. And another one. Okay. Coming into the yard, doing 30 kph. We can live with that. Sneaking on in. And, my goodness. We might have done a good thing. We might have kept him shiny side down, dirty side up. Literally dirty side up in this case. These cars, these are gross. How do they show that they're gas and oil? Well, make it look like they're leaking. This road's no better than the ES&D. There's hazmat leaking everywhere. Okay. And we'll just dump the air. We'll dump all kinds of air. Independent and automatic. Looks like the whole train's in. And we'll go run across the entire city to go get to the train station. It's all the way over here. Although I guess, again, I could do this in the caboose, can't I? Or no, I can't validate jobs in here. 20 minutes? Are you kidding me? 20 minutes? That's nothing. So what was that? 33,000 something? And 54,000 something. Look at that. I mean, that's almost 100 grand. I mean, we're up about 90,000 by doing that job. And we've got, you know, 16,000 of expenses just on the locomotive that we can just go service it. And it's going to be even less than that. That is absolutely fantastic. Well, that's gone quite well. I don't know if there's a way that I can save and then blow things up. So, okay, it appears that there is some sort of autosave function built in, but it appears there's also some backups built in. So, in which case, we can enjoy putting this thing in notch 8 in reverse and seeing what happens. Without consequences, I should say, because I don't want to ruin my progress. Because, come on, you can't run a job full of explosive cargo and not fling the explosive cargo off the track for fun, right? I'm taller than the caboose. At least the cupola. Do we make it out of the yard? How far do we get before it goes bang? We're starting to get it going at a pretty good clip. We might not make it through around this bit here. This S-curve is going to be a little spicy. Oh, well, there goes the caboose. Did it hop back on? Uh-oh, uh-oh. We've got flames. Yeah, we are on fire. This is not good. It's gonna go bang at some point, I think. Oh, that... What about the rest of them? Oh. Oh, we're missing some of the show. Is that it? Is that all the carnage we can... Oh, oh, oh. I guess we're just getting a very slow burn on these. Oof. They just start spraying gas out, and then they slowly explode. Oh, yes, like that. Just like that, actually. I don't know if we got all of them. Did this one blow up? I don't... Oh, no, still going. Press F to enter. City 17 destroyed by local pyromaniac with gas train. I think this is the last one to go. Hey! Okay, well, thanks for watching, everyone. This was a lot of fun. If you guys have any suggestions for what I play next or what you want to see out of DERAIL Valley, perhaps more destruction, just let me know. I'd love to see what you guys want to see. So, peace.